does everything gotta be so heavy? Knock you down when you're down already. Oh, so much to carry. Why does everything gotta be so heavy? All the drama lately, yeah, it's overrated. So unnecessary, yeah, I just can't take this feeling anymore. Leave it at the door. I've been falling over, too much on my shoulders. You can only think so much before you break down. All I really need is space to breathe. Why does everything gotta be so heavy? Knock you down when you're down already. Oh, so much to carry. Why does everything gotta be so heavy? Stop, just wait a minute. I just need a second to regain my peace of mind before I explode. 'Cause there's a lot of things I can't control. I can't control. Why does everything gotta be so heavy? Knock you down when you're down already. Oh, so much to carry. Why does everything gotta be so heavy? Ooh, to the people in the back, all the way to the front row, front row. Ooh, now let me hear you back. Sometimes I gotta let go, let go. Ooh, to the people in the back, all the way to the front row, front row. Ooh, now let me hear you back. Sometimes I gotta let go, let go. Ooh, to the people in the back, all the way to the front row, front row. Ooh, now sing it on back. Sometimes I gotta let go, let go. Ooh, to the people in the back, all the way to the front row, front row. Ooh, now sing it on back. Sometimes I gotta let go, let go. Why does everything gotta be so heavy? Knock it down when you're down already.
Hi. It's What Up Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. Let me know how my sound is. Nice to see lots of people tuning in already. I'm doing fine. I really am. I'm just going to keep saying it and it's going to work out. Oh, goodness. Is the pandemic over yet? Am I able to speak English? I'm not sure. Hi, everybody. Today on What Up Wednesday, I am going to go through some more social media clips because they seem to be very interesting and fun, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. I can't help it. I am deeply concerned. And my answers tend not to work very well in, 20 seconds or less. Sorry, my headphones are all a mess. There we go. Now we look professional. Hi. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Andy, Rachel, glad you've got your glass of wine in hand. I won't be long after you when this is done. Stephen Cox, as always, so good to see you, friend. Liam's here. Did I get you on? There you go. Good to see you. Simon, I'm with you on the tee. I'm with you on the tee. Look. And in my special FHumpires travel mug. Great to see you. Godders is in the house. Good to see you. I've missed you, buddy. Let's message. We need to chat. But yes, we are going to catch up. Rob McMullen is back from Joburg. Thanks for coming in, as always. Ian, it is Wednesday again. And it's a Sam Smith Pure Brewed Organic Lager. You fancy. Ian, you fancy. I appreciate that. Sound is good. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. My new best friend, Katarina's on board. Good to see you, hon. For everybody at home, Katarina dos Santos is a umpire, and she is a writer. She's a journalist from South Africa, living in the US right now, and I just spoke to her yesterday to prepare for a piece that is going to be in Hockey the Magazine. So Katarina, don't be shy. Put a link to, some of the socials for Hockey the Magazine. It's a South Africa focused social media property. So I'm sure Rob knows all about it. But they put out lots of really great content. Tyron Jabu Bernard and Derek Alberts are awesome on their podcast. So definitely have a look at their stuff and get ready for a piece on me. I'm a little weirded out, but there's good stuff and there's lots to talk about. So great. Thanks everybody for the sound checks. Good to see you, Gary. How's the running going? I hope you're starting to run some shorter distances these days. You got to get ready for getting on the pitch. Stop this long distance nonsense. It might be good for your brain, but lots of things are good for your brain. But short distances are not going to help. Teo's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Niels, DeGamer, 000. God, your name is awesome. Can we be best friends? Please, DM me. I need to know more about you. Good stuff. Oh, Gary, you're on YouTube. Awesome. Checking in. Matthew, you got up early. Good to see you. Matthew's in New Zealand, so this is a big thing. And he's a teenager, so tough go. Yes. Hi, Leslie. Oh, you have a Wales. Yeah, I saw that. Come on. You're supposed to schedule these things better. Please. Mark Staunton, let's get on this. Let's coordinate. Very important. Hi, Mohammed. Very warm welcome to you. AJ's back from Lancaster. Lovely. Hi, Alicia. Former guest on Umpire at Home, who I'm sure I'm going to have back very soon. Glad that you're checking in, keeping an eye on me. I like it. Nirmal's here. Great to see you. Awesome. Yes. Making connections. That's what we're all about. Barry Hainsworth is here. You even had some junior goalkeeper training going on indoors. Ooh, yes. Yeah, well, you do what you can, right? To get a stick in hand. Our juniors are able to start training this weekend. So I think we have a very small group of 13 athletes training. So at least something's happening. I'll find out more at the board meeting tomorrow night. I'm very out of the loop right now. Even though I'm the vice president of the league, I have no idea what's happening. Spending a little more time on FHumpires and everything else. Kathy's in the house. Wonderful to see you. Anna, hi. Great to see you. And Andy, Clubhouse still won't let you sign you up. Andy, would you just message me? I have an invite for you, okay? For all of you playing at home, Clubhouse. If you haven't heard of it, use your Google. If you are waiting for an invite, I have 5 right now. And I would love to get more hockey people on board. So DM me and I'll hook you up. And then you can come and join me and some of my best friends on Tuesdays, where we have a rules conversation where we talk to coaches and spectators and players about our perspectives and try to generate a good, solid discussion and some consensus on how we look at the game and how rules are interpreted. So that's Tuesdays at this time, because I'm a creature of habit and I think everything should just happen for me at the same time. And then Saturday mornings, my time. So it's 6:30 a.m. for me. Somebody can translate that into UK time. I think that's 1:30 p.m. UK, yada, 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 yada for everybody else. 1+ hour in the Europe places, all that sort of thing. A news show. So we just have a chat about what's happening with hockey right now in the news. So it's super fun. We're starting to grow. More coaches are joining up. There's a massive contingent of Japanese international and just sub-international players on board, which is really cool. I wish I understood Japanese. And tons of Germans as well. I was in a German clubhouse room yesterday listening. No idea what they were talking about. I pick up the occasional word and I thought, yeah, they're still talking about hockey. And it was, yes, a German hockey clubhouse. So you never know what you're going to find, right? So invite, get hooked up. Andrea's in the house. Good to see you again. Gary, you're 48 days running on the spin. Whew, good. Get that speed work in, sir. Excellent. Hi, Finn. Welcome to the broadcast. Good to meet you. Caroline, great. The snow is gone in Edinburgh. Well, do you want some of ours? We've got some extra. I can show you. It's brutal. David, hi. Good to see you. Have I seen David Tomlinson's awesome photos trekking Mount I'm just going to say it wrong. Trekking in New Zealand. Yes, I have seen them, and they're great photos. And as I said on the photo, I said, well, it's no Canadian Rockies, but okay, if you have to compromise because you're not allowed to travel, then that seems like a great place to go. I'm just saying, if you've seen the Canadian Rockies, they're the best. They are the best. They just are. Because they are incredibly tall, and they are an hour and 15 minutes away from my house. Hour and 15 minutes, which means I need to go there more often. So I go up there and I will kayak on mountain lakes in the summer when the weather is good, and it is just amazing. Check out my personal Instagram, Facebooks for photos that will absolutely make you cry because they're so beautiful. No, it's exactly what we need to do. Joe's here. Charisse, great to see you as always. I'm not sure what you're agreeing with, but of course, if it came out of my mouth, good. Well, yes, you can travel in New Zealand, but if you can't come to Canada to see the mountains here, then I guess you're just going to have to stay there and with your amazing virtually no lockdowns. Hey, are you out of your 3-day lockdown, Matt? Let me know. And they are fab. Okay, I'm going to get started. Thank you, everybody, for checking in. It is so nice to see your faces. I am having a bit of a week. I'm not going to lie. It's there's just a lot going on right now. And I don't know how you all feel when there's been things that you've been working on for so long and everything just seems to kind of explode at once. And it was actually my conversation with Katerina yesterday that I kind of realized, wow, I haven't even taken a second to process all the things that are happening. So I need to figure out how to do that. And if any of you have ideas on things that I should do, please let me know. You may have noticed I did not publish a Ruly Tuesday yesterday. I'm really sorry. But I needed some time. And I had a couple other things that I absolutely had to do, and it just didn't work this week. But I'm going to film it early, and it'll be on time next week, and everything will be fine. Yes, Jade was here and saw the Rockies because we had a visit, and it was really, really nice. And Matthew, you're out of lockdown this morning. That is awesome news. Okay, let's get started because I have some social media things to talk about, and I hope that I do a good job in covering all of these topics. Don't forget, did I do that right? Oh, of course not. See, this is, there are dilemmas. And I've ruined everything. Hi, I'm still here. I'm still here. Go to FHU3T.com and support us because the team is growing. You are going to meet them all very soon in the next week or two. And the team is growing. Everything is growing. I'm going crazy. Everything's fine. So come support us, and then maybe I can pay for some mental health care and an hour in a float tank or something. Who knows? Meditate, says Facebook user. Whoever you are, Facebook user. Yeah, I should do that. Yes, Peter, that's a Wales hockey thing. I haven't been invited to any of their association events yet. I don't know why. I think they should think about that. They should reevaluate that. Okay. Right. First up on the list of things to cover is a recent post that I think a lot of you saw on the interwebs.
Right.
No, not that one.
Donati
Not that
slaps
one.
it. Good
This
save
one.
by Hanlon. It's saved on the
This one, okay? This popped up on the hockey.nl feeds. Make sure you go follow them because they put up a ton of videos and highlights and do lots of great stuff on Instagram. But they posted this as a question and answer, and very conveniently for all of us who don't speak Dutch. I know there's a few of you on the broadcast that do, but I've translated this in Google and how to look at it. But this is the play in question that you may have seen. It was a penalty corner that resulted in a goal. Okay, that worked. I have no idea why. So I can play this a few times.
Maar uiteindelijk is het 2-0 voor Bloemendaal en dat is ook
I'm just going to mute the system audio there because it was really, really loud. And, oh, if I press a hot button, I'm going to ruin everything. Don't do this, guys. Just don't do this at home. Okay, Peanut Gallery, I don't want to hear it from you. We'll watch the replay a little bit, and hopefully I'll do it right. Hi, Niels. Okay, good. You're Dutch. So if I misconstrue anything in this, we'll have a look. But this was the clip that they put up, and this was a hot goal that was initially called as a goal at the time. And I would like to hear, for those of you in the crowd, what your thoughts are and your reactions are on this initially. Because it's not a very clear-cut one, but as always, we need to figure out what the principles are so that if we have a similar situation on our pitch, we have a better understanding of what we would do. So chime into the comments. Let me know what your thoughts have been. And let me give you my very quick take. And I'm going to try more technology, and it's going to go terribly wrong. But I'm ambitious. I can't help it. Okay, let me unlock my iPad. I accidentally pressed the whistle button. Oops. Okay, is this going to work? Is the overlay on? Nope, it's not on. Okay, this isn't going to work. So, yes, let's see. Oh, the Facebook user is Michelle because I'm not getting the comments in through the yellow group. Damn it. I got to fix that. Okay, Godders is saying danger because the defender is marking. Rachel, danger. 2 not played by the stick. Rob, at first glimpse, it looks like danger call should have been blown. Normal initial view is fine, but replay looks dangerous. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I kind of froze on this particular frame here. And what Goddard said is, for me, exactly the important point and what we need to look at for this play. So for me, when I look at number 14 in blue, she is marking the attacker directly to her right. She has ball. Back in the day when I was learning marking, it was ball you man positioning. So you wanted to be in between the ball you man, goal, triangle. And so she is closer to the ball than her mark. Excellent. She is also goal side from the ball to the goal, which is good marking position. Now, is she within 1 meter of her player? Is she breathing down her neck? No, but she is definitely marking. And as she moves across the field, she is moving through the circle, tracking her player. You can see she looks over, she moves to the right, So I completely agree with Godders there that is where the danger occurs. Oh, wow. That actually worked. Okay. Does anybody have any other thoughts on that and other questions? Because one of the things I'm seeing, let's see. Jane, you're asking, was she 5 meters away? Now, this question of 5 meters, I think, is a really good, this is the guideline that we use when we're talking about shots on goal from penalty corners from the drag flick. So the 5 meter guidance is meant really to attach to that situation and that situation only, but it is something that we can consider as a possible piece of like interpretive help in other situations like this one. However, I have seen, and I believe, calls that needed to be dangerous, and oftentimes were called as dangerous, where a defender is further than 5 meters away from the launching part of the ball, but the ball is going into a congested space. That defender is marking an attacker. They don't have the ability to play the ball safely because they're in this congestion. They've got an attacker right next to them. They can't move properly. They're, all that kind of thing. And they've been put there by the attackers and by them playing good defense. So for me, the 5 meters isn't determinative, but it can be a guideline if other factors aren't there. I hope that makes sense for that. Finn, your first reaction is danger. David, goal as more than 5 meters away. Okay, so I hope that helps you, gives you something else to think about when you're applying principles, because we need to look at if that defender had been on her own and had been protecting the goal and she was further than 5 meters away, very different story. I get that. But I don't think she was protecting the goal. She was shadowing her attacker as she was going across. So the intention there is for her to be playing good defense. I hope that makes some sense. No worries, Rachel. Ian, I can see why the decision would be made. Instinct is no goal from the angle shown. The lead umpires view goal, but probably consult with colleague. Absolutely. I would have liked to see the umpire a little bit deeper in their circle on that one, and that might have helped a bit with the seeing how close she was to her attacking mark. And again, there's also, if he was a little deeper in his circle, he may have been a little bit farther away, and that would have helped keep his vision just that little bit bigger. So instead of being so ball focused and then just seeing it whiz by, or I think, it looked to me like it actually deflected off the defender and changed direction a little bit. And that's why it was, one of the reasons it was such a good shot and beat the goalkeeper is that it actually did a little pivot off her head. I don't know. You'd have to ask her. Maybe somebody has more information on that. And that's just pure conjecture on my part. But it looked to me like there was that slight change of direction. Caroline, danger, evasive action taken by defender is a legitimate position in space. Very, very concise summary of exactly what I would say. I like that. Rob, is this similar to a call where the SA men were denied a goal against Canada for a similar thing? I'll go look for the clip. Let me know. Was that in World Cup, or was that a World? No, it wouldn't have been a World League. So that must have been the World Cup game. So Rob, send me a DM and remind me to go look for it for you so I can follow up on that. Hi, Steen. Let's see, Alicia, there's a similar clip where the GB defenders nearly hit and was clarified that even a shot at goal needs to be safe. Yes. So I actually show that exact clip, Alicia, here or somewhere else when I was talking about danger, probably in a past What Up Wednesday. And it was actually KRW who almost got absolutely nailed, or she may have got nailed. And then she is there with the umpire and trying to clarify the decision and put her point across. And I think she was right, because even though she was further than 5 meters away, she was actually a little bit behind the goalkeeper, but she was off to the side. And she was right on her mark, right on her mark. And it was a very crowded space. And that's the kind of thing that you don't want to see. Now, if she is the one who was crowding that space all on her own, different. Okay. Was it a first strike? It was just it doesn't matter because it was a free play, Rachel. So we don't have to worry about that sort of thing. We can talk about first strikes on goal, and we can go back to the situation we discussed a week ago, because that's come on social media in a few different places. But I thought we were pretty darn clear on that broadcast and went through all the permutations. But if anybody would like to discuss it again, because yes, it's on another Facebook group, and again, there's a lot of people getting it wrong there too. And I don't want to be a jerk about it, but I think it's really important for us to consider, yes, it was called incorrectly in the game, and Alicia's pointed this out. We've had all the top umpires coming on and admitting and talking about the challenges of getting every single one of these decisions right. And there is so much going on. There's so much to consider. They are doing their best, and they are learning as they're going. They're on their own journeys, and they're growing as well. So just because it gets called one way in a top game doesn't mean it's always going to be correct. We need to talk about all the reasons that went into it, and then maybe talk about how we can do that better in our next game, whether it's at the Pro League or it's down at our local grounds on a Saturday with the junior under 16s or whatever the case might be. Let's see. Leslie, it would have been interesting if the defender did not have quick reactions. And yeah, I mean, that's a great dive. Like, she really, and I don't mean dive as in I mean the actual, like, great reflexes kind of way. I would have just taken that one full in the face. That would have been me. And that's happened. Sunny, so the verdict is no goal due to danger. So yes, that was not only the verdict on the Hockey NL site. So let's see, as I come back up to here, Konstantin Schopp chimed in. He's a Hood class level umpire over there, who I am friends with on Facebook, and he confirmed that the defender makes the rightly evasive action here. And this is the English translation, so don't get all bent that it doesn't sound super cool. She still hits the ball on her arm, so Konstantin is confirming that the player actually did get hit. And I think what he misses is in his explanation is the fact that so many of you have rightly pointed out but she's there for a reason. She's there for a very expected reason, and that reason is not to pretend she's a goalkeeper. There are people who do adhere to the philosophy that if there is legitimate evasive action, it has to be dangerous. But when it comes to being around the goal, when it comes to players who intentionally put themselves in positions of danger, just because they act out of self-preservation after they've made that terrible life choice, doesn't mean that we should then reward that behavior. And we can't. Otherwise, we would just have defenders lining up in front of the goal, and that's how no goals would ever get scored. Yeah, defender did not create the danger. Very good point, Barry. And a very simple way to put it again. What do you have, Thirsk? Totally agree. Just because a decision is given in one game, it doesn't necessarily mean it is correct, but quite possible that after looking at it again, a different decision would have been better. Yeah, that I think is the case. And so I think what I want you to take away from this is that you're going to look at those separate factors in your game. You're also going to have the skill level of the players. You're going to have the maturity. You're going to have distances. You're going to have the speed of the ball. You're going to have so many things that you all calculate. So unfortunately, this is, folks, this is why we get paid the big bucks, is because we have a lot of things that we're looking into all at the same time. but we're going to keep working on these. We're going to keep having the discussions. We're going to exercise our brains, and we're going to grease the grooves so that when we are out there on the pitch, we're more likely to make the best decision we can on that day. How's that? How do you like them apples? Okay, where are we at? Ooh, 12:30 already. Okay, the next topic. This could all go terribly wrong again. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this was brought to me getting back to, yes, I know I'm being totally sarcastic that we're getting paid. Look, I'm trying to change the world here, folks. I'm trying to change the world, and I'm showing everybody how valuable we are, and eventually it'll happen. Okay, so this was a play that was brought to my attention on the Instagrams. Whoops. See, I'm just having a great day. I've got the wrong scenes going all over again, and I don't appear on this. Let's see, I can't even do it. Anyway, here we go. So this was my good friend Dennis sending this through from the Self Pass Instagram. Again, if you don't follow Self Pass, where are your life choices? And this is about the bully in indoor. I'm just going to stop clicking on things because I'm just messing things up. So his question here, as hopefully you can see, and I can't because I don't have my glasses on, is about the positioning of the players on the bully. So I'm going to play the video and hopefully it'll be viewable. And if I do it this way, it's going to be way more viewable. We're going to loop this a couple times. Okay. So this is his question here, is that the bully's being taken just outside the 3 meter dotted line, or at the 3 meter dotted line for something that probably happened within the vicinity. And from his view, the players are lining up very perpendicular to the end line. So as we loop it again, I can't pause it because it's Instagram, but they are dead lined up, like right shoulder to the back line and left shoulder. And so his question to me was, does that positioning disadvantage the defender, especially in that case, because he's not straight on the hot line, as Dennis described it. He's not straight on the hot line, and so he isn't, he's not occupying the most appealing space for that attacker to go. And he's actually, if you're looking at angles, he's a little further away from the goal than he would be. So is that the correct way to line up? So let's see. When I try to bring myself back in, there we go. I'm actually on the screen. I was just hidden. Hi. Did I mention I'm having challenges? So here's the bully rule. Pull that off my face. Okay. So this was a great question for me as well, because I went back to the bully rule, and I do this every time when you guys ask me questions and draw my attention to clips. I open up the rule book to make sure that I'm right on what I believe my understanding is. And even when I'm really, really sure, I'll go back and have a little revisit just to be sure. And it's also just confirming. It's like study habits. It helps emblazon it even more thoroughly in my mind, because here there is pressure, but when we're talking about things, I don't have to make a split-second decision. I can take my time and look at the wording, and we can have a discussion about it. But on the pitch, it's got to be there. So why not just get that rule even more firmly emblazoned in your mind? So in 6.5a, as it is an indoor, the bully's taken close to the location of the ball where the play was stopped. The ball is placed between one player from each team who face each other with the goal they are defending to their right. There is nothing that says that they have to be perpendicular to the boards, or they have to be parallel to the back line. So that defender could edge around as long as the goal is to his right. I wouldn't have any problem as an umpire allowing that defender and for them to angle so that as long as they are facing each other and the goal is off the right shoulder, you're set. I hope that makes sense for everybody. That was a really interesting little fine detail that some player out there somewhere is thinking that this is crucially important and they're going to have an argument with somebody after a game. Let me know what you think. Does that accord with the way that you think? And I think that same logic would apply in outdoor, although it's not quite as important because the spaces are bigger, but there's no reason why that defender can't be at an angle and their opposition being at an angle when they're taking that bully. Let me know what you think. And we shall see what happens. Okay, here is one that came up, and I'm happy to go back, but by the time I fumble around with all my screens and my scenes and I'm getting everything wrong, I'll be able to cut back to your question and reply nice and easy. So this is the video I was going to show before. Let's see what happens. Okay. Wait, Rachel slipped in here. But if the defender moves, the attacker has almost got his goal behind him. I think I understand what you're saying. I think what you're pointing out is that now the defender kind of has an advantage towards the other goal. Is that right? Because so I can see what you're saying. But I think that threat and that disadvantage is a lot less than the disadvantage a defender would suffer if they are offset and closer to the sideboards than they need to be. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what the players decide because it is a little ambiguous, right? So we're not necessarily going to intervene, but this is one of those things that you see can happen in a match where an umpire will intervene and they'll get that detail wrong and they'll tweet, no, you got to be straight and you got to do it this way. And we need to trust the players sometimes about these totally fine details in these ambiguous areas because they know what is really disadvantageous for them. They know what is unfair. Absolutely. And that's what I want. I want the logic because that is how we creatively think and we develop consensus. So let's keep doing this. You're doing your thing. Okay. So the next scenario I wanted to go through was one accurate. Hate bullies. I don't care Matt Allen of the reverse stick and John Lee of the reverse stick. They have a big campaign to bring back the bully, and I disagree. Exactly, right? So I did the Ruly Tuesday a little while back. I'll put the link in the description if anybody needs to find it, but I did a Ruly Tuesday on bullies, and I said that players are working out, and there's a convention in many other sports that where a team was in possession of the ball, and if a bully gets called or whatever the case might be, that they are going to they're just going to pass the ball back. So they'll do the one tap, and then they'll step away, and they'll allow the ball to get hit back to the opposition. Don't mind anything happening in the background. Apparently, I'm accepting an Amazon delivery through Corey. So, thank you. The phone was ringing while I was on this live stream and everything, and I'm like, you could have waved, Corey. It's okay. If the goal is to be as human as possible on these live streams, I am nailing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am nailing it. Okay. Now we're moving on. This was on real hockey.
To the right.
And, oh,
Donati slaps it. Good save by Hanlon. It's
I'm going to
saved on
reset
the
this.
line again
Don't you worry.
by
Don't
New
you worry.
Zealand. Well, I
Okay,
think
we're going to go back to me for a second. Because that's where the chroma key iPad fancy thing was going to slip in here. Right? Okay, let's try it again.
shift to the right.
Here's the video.
Donati slaps it.
I'm not
Good
in the
save
screen.
by Hanlon.
That's
It's
okay.
saved on the line again by New Zealand. Well, I think
This happened in
Argentina are feeling that maybe that went in the
2018.
goal and came back out.
I think what happened
And
is the goalkeeper's glove has come off.
poor,
As-
poor Annalise.
I can't remember who it
Like,
was. The injector was going to put the ball
you
into
can-
the goal,
ugh.
and it's put her
You
off.
can kind of tell that her entire the logic trying
there's
to
the save.
go through the
The mic
machinations of
comes
this
off.
are incredible. So let's just
think
watch
it's
this
probably
through
a
a
fair
few
call
times
that it
because
certainly
I've
did put
totally
off.
thoroughly ruined it.
Habib, who's having
Um,
the attempt of a rebound shot.
And don't worry about the fact that I don't appear on the
The
screen.
gloves landed on top of the ball, and Habib has hit the glove instead of the ball.
So we'll watch it a couple times.
I don't think I've ever seen a player hit the goalkeeper's equipment rather than the ball.
But here are the facts. Okay, the shot
Great
comes
save
in and it
from
hits
Grace
the New
O'Hanlon.
Zealand goalkeeper's glove, as we're going to see from this angle. So watch this really carefully. It hits the goalkeeper's glove,
really
and
good
that
strike at the top of
glove
the circle.
then
Great
falls
save.
to the ground.
And good
I
trap
don't
from
believe
Habib.
that that is a
And
throw.
you just see here the glove.
But then it's in the way
I have never seen
of
that
that
happen before.
player accessing the ball. And then after that, the goalkeeper then throws her other protector with the stick in hand, but that doesn't contact the ball.
So penalty stroke awarded.
Okay, I can go back to that as many times as you need to have a look at it, but those are the facts. And you were on the other side, weren't you? Alicia, please, just tell us, what were you thinking when that happened? Like, what literally went through your head? Like, holy crap, what's going on? Please. Very important. So, Stain, correct on the second instance. But the first instance was just a glove, and that's what got in the way of the attacker, Habib. Penalty stroke and a card says Stain. We're going to come back to that. Jane, stroke. Was the initial shot from the corner too high? Holy crap, I didn't even look at that. Oh my God. I don't think so, because the save was made by the goalkeeper in a position she was going down for a log. I think that was at the backboard height or below as the ball was crossing the line. I think we're okay. Sanjeev, it's penalty stroke. Simon is agreeing it's also a penalty stroke. Okay, I got to go back to it now because you guys are all pointing it out, and this could be an extremely valid point. That Alicia, did we miss that?
To the right. Donati slaps it. Good save by Hanlon. It's saved on the line again by New Zealand. Well, I think Argentina are feeling that maybe that went in the goal and came back out.
I think what happened is the goalkeeper's glove has come
Argentina
off.
looking for a stroke.
As I can't remember who it was. The injector was going to put the ball into the
Okay,
goal.
so we're going to watch this again
and
very
it puts her
carefully.
off.
The first shot, or the shot that comes from the top, is a hit. However, as we're watching, hit.
Well, there's the
No,
save.
that's fine.
The mic comes off.
That's fine. I thought there might have been a deflection
I think it's probably
anyway.
a fair call that it's,
Let's watch
he
it
did
again.
put off Habib, who's having the attempt of a rebound shot.
Yeah, the gloves landed
I
on
think
top
we're
of the
okay.
ball, and Habib has hit the glove instead of the ball.
It's a really good spot, though, you guys. Thanks for pointing that out
Ever
because,
seen a player hit the goalkeeper's equipment rather than the ball?
yeah. I can see my block in
Great
the way,
save
but I can't
from Grace O'Hanlon.
get it out. I think I'm having
Yeah,
a,
really
a
good
bug
strike
in the
at the top
software.
of the circle. Great
Anyway.
save. And good trap from Habib. And then you just see here the glove.
I have never seen that happen before.
Annelies, I have a decision for you. The glove of the goalkeeper make that the attacker
Okay,
cannot score, so you
Rob
can
wants to know
penalty
why there was
stroke
no
and they
card.
keep the referral.
Okay, so I think it's a good
Penalty
spot
stroke
on the
awarded.
first shot. I think it's okay, but for the purposes of this discussion, like really good for everybody to point it out. But let's move on to the principles of what the appropriate remedy is in this case. So Rob, why no card? Rachel, yes, assuming the first shot is okay. Penalty stroke and a card, she says. Okay, I know. For Simon, it wasn't too high. So there you go. Niels thinks a card is needed here. Alicia, pretty much that holy crap what just happened. I could see the Argentinian going for a referral, but okay. Was running, so you were managing the ball that was still in play while Annalise dealt with a referral. Yeah. And I mean, thank goodness for referrals, right? Because you could tell that Annalise didn't, there was no decision coming from her at all. So it would have been really difficult for the two of you to remedy that in absence of a video referral. So the rest of us, oh boy. And what do you do as the controlling umpire in that circle? Because the ball is breaking. The ball's breaking down towards your supporting umpire. In this case, it was Alicia. And you could, just by trying to get this decision right, if you want to stop time and have a conversation with your colleague, you could be stopping a great attacking play going down on the other end for no reason if nothing happened. Something absolutely did happen here, but that's the risk that you're taking. So that's a tough one. So for Alicia, the shot was right on height. It was interesting to watch from the newer position you were trialing. Yeah, I'm glad that kind of got tossed in the garbage bin. Because we talked about that, right? I don't know if it was with you, Alicia, on the umpire at home. It could have been you. It could have been Ayana. It could have been a couple of people because we talked about that supporting penalty corner position that at the Women's World Cup you were asked to do. And it didn't stick because it's terrible. It's not terrible. It has its advantages, but not enough to make up for the things that I don't like about it. You might have another opinion, Alicia. I don't know. Let me know what you think. A stroke seems a little harsh as it was an accidental glove coming off, but technically correct. Okay, so now we're getting to the heart of it. So Stain pointed it out earlier and said, well, it wasn't just the glove, it was also the stick that got thrown. Here are the facts. So let's go back to it. I'm putting my lawyer hat on. We're going to analyze this case by discussing the facts. And the first save, the save was made with the blocker as it was on the hand, and in the course of diving, that shot knocked the blocker off the hand. I don't think anybody can construe that as throwing the glove because she made a brilliant save and there was no need for her at that point to throw because the glove on her hand stopped the shot. She didn't need any extra propulsion in order to make that happen. So that save was legitimate and her blocker falls off. It's still her responsibility. So just because the blocker is in the circle, lying there, it's still her responsibility. However, and the correct call, if that stops a probable goal, under the rules of hockey, the correct call is to call that a penalty stroke. I think, what did I do? Rule 12.4a is what you're looking for. So the team penalty result is absolutely a stroke from that because Habib takes a swipe and she has to swipe the glove out of the way before she can get at the ball, or she tried to get the ball and got the glove instead. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That's a stroke under 12.4a. After that, or as that's sort of occurring, O'Hanlon throws her stick and her other glove, so her roundy thing. What do goalkeepers call that? She throws her right hand blocker with her stick. Just sheer desperation. She throws that, but it doesn't touch the ball, and it doesn't change a thing. Had that maneuver stopped the attacker from scoring that probable goal, yes, that's a card. And a stroke. Absolutely. 10-minute yellow, off you go. Go sit up and think about what you've done. However, I think in this case, the action that prevented the action that caused the disadvantage was unintentional. Not awarding a card is the correct remedy. That's what I think. That's what Loreen thought, because if Loreen had thought differently, don't get it twisted. She would have said, and card the player, and card the goalkeeper. She would have said, and that's a yellow card. And she may have even said that's a 10-minute yellow card, because I've watched Loreen in the box, and she is very confident about giving advice to the pitch umpires about needing to give cards where they are needed. If that has been something that the pitch umpire didn't see and then needs to remedy with that personal penalty. Okay, so what happened? And Loreen knows what she's doing. She's very, very smart. So Alicia, the shot on goal height was good. It was interesting. Okay, yeah, and you heard the second whistle, so you were off running. So that's back to David Thirsk. It's not often we agree right off the hot. Well, actually, we're probably about 50-50, right, Thursky, that we agree on stuff? But yes, I am good. David, you want the penalty stroke there. Throw the stick from the goalkeeper after the first glove comes off, makes a penalty stroke for you. Yeah, and I think that distinction, that what action created the disadvantage. Now, if O'Hanlon throws her stick and it creates danger for somebody, then you don't have to worry about disadvantage. You're worried about danger, and you're worrying about controlling the tempers of the players and showing the players that you're looking after their safety. So yeah, sure, card that, but you're carding danger, really, not the disadvantage that occurs from the throwing of the stick. Yes, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't touch the ball stain. It didn't change a thing. So, you're still talking about the height of the ball. Stop it. Stop distracting me. Andy, if the first shot was fine, a stroke. Only a card if the goalie threw her stick on purpose second. I think she intentionally threw her stick. She did. I don't think there's any question about that. It was like, she's on the ground and she goes, "Wah!" I can show it again if you want. But there is that extension motion and she goes, "Wah! Take it." Because she's just, and this is what I consider to be not evil. It's cynical. She's like, I am measuring the cost-benefit analysis in this situation, and I'm willing to take a 10-minute yellow card and a stroke just so that this player has to try again. And, as an umpire, don't get upset at this. This is a cost-benefit analysis that the player has gone through, and they would like to force that player to take another one. Your job is simply to mete out the penalties appropriately. So as long as they're not, doing something dangerous. Tomas wants a penalty stroke and a 5-minute yellow. The thrown stick. I don't think so. Stop it. If the stick was thrown not in the circle, a card would be given. If it impacts the play, if it causes danger, right? If somebody throws their stick and it's not on the play and it doesn't, you're like, it's like a slide tackle. If the slide tackle doesn't actually come into contact with the player, nothing has gone wrong. There's been no disadvantage. So you'd only intervene on that if you need to for danger purposes. So if a player throws their stick and it doesn't stop the ball from going through, but it could trip somebody, or it could hit them in the body, could hit them in the feet, the legs, whatever, sure, card that. That is something that you need to intervene on and control, but not just somebody throwing their stick and missing the ball. We can't penalize what doesn't happen. That might be a reply to somebody else, so I'll leave that alone. Alan, no intent to throw the glove. If the stick had stopped the goal, then it would have been a PS plus a card. Yes. Thank you for agreeing with me. It's not just about agreeing with me, but again, go through the principles. So tell me, if you think that needed to be carded in exactly that situation, that goalkeeper stick did not stop the ball from going in. I'm going to go back and look at Thomas's point about it changing where the attacker is trying to score. I mean, like, I'll look at that, because that is an argument that I think, properly points to a principle that would change my mind. So I'm going to have a look at that. But for the rest of you who are wanting the card, explain to yourselves and to me why something that doesn't affect the play and doesn't cause danger to somebody else needs to be given that extra penalty. That extra message has to be sent to not do that. Barry, you had something similar. A glove came off. Not sure if it was a throw, but it was a distraction. You called a penalty corner. Barry, you called a penalty corner expecting to keep, the goalkeeper to keep control of Kit. Yep. Okay. And it depends. Just on the positioning thing. Alicia works at the level with referrals, but not shirt club. Yeah, never know. Okay. Good to see you, Alicia. Thanks for popping in. Throw me a DM. Say hi. First glove not thrown. Second glove thrown with intent. Okay. Again. Intent, but. The penalty stroke is rewarded for the glove because the glove stopped the probable goal. The stick did not stop a probable goal, in my view. Okay, let's just go back to the video a couple more times. And maybe I can get my head out of get my blank screen.
Right.
Do you guys see that? I don't know if you see that.
Slaps it. Good save by Hanlon. It's saved on the line again by New Zealand. Well, I think Argentina are feeling that maybe that went in the goal and came back out.
I think what happened is the goalkeeper's glove has come off.
Argentina looking for a stroke.
I can't remember who it was. The injector was going to put the ball into the goal.
Now,
And
that
it
is
puts
the
her off.
question that Annalise sends up to Loreen. The stroke came from the keeper's glove. Okay,
Well, there's the
but
save.
that doesn't have to
Mick
be the
comes
grounds on
off.
which that Loreen makes her decision.
And I think it's probably a fair call that it certainly did put off Habib, who's having the attempt of a rebound shot.
Yeah, the glove's landed on top of the ball and Habib has hit the glove instead of the ball.
So for
Ever
me,
seen
as
a
we
player
get back
hit
to
the
the best
goalkeeper's
angle
equipment
that's about
rather
to
than
come
the
up
ball?
here, for me, the stick and the
Great
right
save
hand
from Grace O'Hanlon.
stuff. Okay, so here comes the shot. That's dipping. That's fine.
Yeah, really good strike at the top
Okay,
of the circle.
the
Great
glove is
save.
there.
And good trap from Habib. And then you just see here the glove.
That's the moment at which the foul
I've never
occurs.
seen that happen before.
Okay, the stick and glove goes the other way. So we're not talking about whether the second attempt was
The glove of the goalkeeper
infringed
makes that
on.
The attacker cannot score, so you can award a penalty stroke.
We're talking about the first one. That's the grounds on which the stroke is awarded. Because if she didn't have to knock that glove away, regardless of whether that second stick was thrown, it would have been fine. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was absolutely intentional. Fouls have to cause disadvantage to the opposing players. Okay? And I know it's close. I know it's close. It's like maybe it's not like she threw her stick and glove on the other side of the pitch. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when you're looking at putting all of these penalties together, you have to be very sure and very confident that you can justify all these things together, compounding on that one moment of play. Can I put up 12-4A? Technically, I can. Can I ruin my life by trying to do it? Yes. Oh, dear. Let's see what happens. Okay, if I go to this screen and I do this, hold the phone. Don't get alarmed. It's not showing me the right. Okay, maybe I'll try the next scene and that'll work. It's like you've asked me to perform brain surgery. You have no idea what difficulties you've created for me. Okay, so I'm on that scene. If there is anybody watching from my live stream community, you are laughing your heads off at me right now. Because these are the things that we were supposed to be able to do. Nope. Not that. Hang on. I might have done it. No. I can't do it, guys. This is just too hard. It's a lot of pressure. I will, Matt, I will put that up in the description, or I'll DM it to you or something. Or somebody else, Andy, okay, Andy Waller, you get to do this for me. I'm delegating. You are going to go get the link from, you're going to pull it up, and you're going to take a screenshot, and you're going to put it in the description of this chat. The first glove is a freak accident, but a stroke stop and clear goal. Yes. A probable goal. Just use the correct words, okay? Please, please, please. Especially you, because you're coming up and I want you to do this stuff right. Use the correct terminology whenever you can, because this is how misconceptions get developed by coaches and players. They listen to us saying things like clear goal. It doesn't have to be a clear goal. A probable goal. So, it's still a stroke due to stopping a probable goal, but the throw of the stick from the keeper should have warranted a card. No, trust me, Lorene would have looked at everything. She's not going to stop the video immediately after. If there's something else that might need to get dealt with, she's going to look at that. Don't you worry. Sorry, I've got some lagging going on, I can tell. Hand protectors, blockers, yes. Yeah, I mean, a talking to. She, at other levels, yes. There, she knew what she was trying to do. She failed to do it because that's not what, she didn't make contact with the ball. But yeah, you can give her a dirty look if you want to, or say something. I don't have a problem with that. But if they did outside the circle, it would have been a card regardless of the ball being touched, right? I don't know. Hi, Darren. What did you think? The PS rounding thing is hand protector. I think I said blocker. I think I said right-hand blocker. Anywhere on the pitch. You don't even have to be near the ball. If you throw your stick, you're getting a card. Okay. I'm a little concerned. Did the guidance on 12.A rule come after the World Cup? That is an excellent question, AJ. I will have to double check that. Because that could have been one of the 12... that could have been one of the 2019 additions and clarifications. Somebody looked that up on my website. I wrote an article about this. And see, I want to look it up because I don't want to say it the wrong way. I think that was clarified, but there was certainly enough in the rules before then that you could still come to the right decision. Isn't a stick mandatory equipment for a goalie? So if the goalie throws the ball, yeah, but it happened after the big foul that stopped the goal, that stopped the probable goal. I'm struggling today. Usually I'm able to pull y'all around a little more easily. And look, at the end of the day, if you really feel like this personal message needs to be sent and you're going to card the player because after they stopped the probable goal, they threw their stick as well, and you really don't like that for whatever reason, okay. I get it. But in that game, at that level, they're not going to give that card because that's not the action that stopped the probable goal. The probable goal and the foul had already occurred. Look at it this way. Okay, here we go. I'm getting smarter as time's going on. Must be the tea kicking in. If Annalise had blown her whistle immediately for that stroke, she was on top of it, she brain locked in, and her timing was bang. She got it right away. She calls the stroke, and then the goalkeeper throws her stick. Do you card that? Causes no danger to anybody, changes nothing. Do you card that? And why? Tell me why. Because it's against the rules and they needed... No, we card for things that need to be, the messages need to be sent. And that it had such an effect on the game that the team penalty is not enough. Okay? If the team penalty is not enough because of the degree of what it broke down, yes, give the card. It kind of gets back to the principle, and this ties into something that I'm trying to get across more and more, and it came out when the penalty corner goal in the Spain-Belgium game was discussed on another Facebook group, which I won't mention because I don't think it's... So it came out in that discussion, and a lot of people said, well, I'm not sure if it was a shot on goal, so it wasn't. That's not how we call the game, folks. Our first principle is, was it dangerous? Our second principle is, are we sure? Do we need to intervene? Otherwise, we stay the hell out of the way. We let the players do their thing. We're not there to look for reasons to blow our whistle. We're there to look for reasons why we don't have to blow our whistle. Because it's not about us. To me, giving that card is looking for a reason to give a card. So I think in that situation, that team of 3 umpires got it right. It was a little messy, but they got it right. I hope that impassioned plea had some impact. 50-50 is fair. Thanks, David. I think it's a stroke for the first glove coming off accidentally. The attacker still has an opportunity, and that puts off the attacker. Yeah, no. So Gary, this is for the best argument that could possibly get me going to the other side, is that you're playing advantage. Okay? But when the video umpire goes back to that, the video umpire is not going to go, well, advantage was played, therefore we're going back to the second foul, but she still doesn't touch the ball. So then if you play advantage, you can't give a stroke because she had advantage. She had the opportunity to do what she could do. She shot it, but the New Zealand player, the defender, stepped in the way and managed to make a great save. So do you give 2 bites of the cherry? No, you don't. So you can't go to that foul as being the central, that is what you're hinging the video decision on, and therefore you're not going to give that card. So sure, give the card because of that attempt to influence the play, but it was all in the attacker's hands. She had an advantage. She wasn't able to capitalize on it. Play continues, and you go back and you give a 10-minute yellow for that. Okay. Sell that to everybody in the stadium, though. I'd like to hear you do that one. That would be and like you said, Gary, that's making things too complicated for me. Bye. And who gets to go to Argentina right now? Jerk. I'm not here for you. Yeah, you are. But why do we step in? Why do we step in? Not because the rules say so. We step in because it causes the opposition disadvantage or it puts people in danger. That's why we step in the game. That's why we have a whistle. Otherwise, it's like, okay, you're dumb. Fine, go ahead. If some 12-year-old kid is sitting in the backfield and they're playing flipsies with their stick, and what are you going to card them because they threw their stick? Of course not. Stop being technical. Spirit. Show it again. Again? Okay, I'll show it again, just in case.
A shift to the right. Donati slaps it. Good save by Hanlon. It's saved on the line.
I think
again
I muted the sound.
by New Zealand. Well, I think Argentina are feeling that maybe that went in the goal and came back out.
I think what happened is the goalkeeper's glove has come
don't
off.
think you can hear it.
For a stroke.
I can't remember who it was. The injector was going to put the ball into the goal,
Okay,
and it's put her off.
Well, there's the save. The mitt comes off. And I think it's probably a fair call that it certainly did put off Habib, who's having the attempt of a rebound shot.
Yeah, the glove's landed on top of the ball, and Habib has hit the glove instead of the ball.
I don't think I've ever seen a player hit the goalkeeper's equipment rather than the
Okay,
ball.
here comes the good angle again. I will
Great
edit this
save
clip and I
from
will
Racer
add this to
Hanlon.
the clip library and make it public so you can all go look at it.
Yeah, really good strike at the top of the circle. Great save. And good trap.
Okay,
from
here's the
Habib.
moment that Habib would have
You
scored,
see here the glove.
but for the fact that the glove gets in the way.
I've never seen that happen before.
And then she flings her glove. Nothing happens. And then the shot, the replay doesn't show it, but the shot that Habib then takes is saved by the New Zealand defender who steps in. Oh my God. Keely Dunn. Don't turn off your screen.
Penalty strike.
So she didn't have advantage off that play because by the time she was able to swipe the glove away and get her stick on the ball, a New Zealand defender had came in, and that's not advantage. Okay? So the foul that needs to be called there is the stroke for the first instance. Let's fight more. Just kidding. See you, Thursky. Simon, you're only like an hour and something late. I don't even know what time it is. How long have I been ranting, everybody? Godders, disconnect your buzzer. You are not allowed to chime in anymore. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Robert Bradley. I enjoy this too. Yes. 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 How many times have we seen a potential slide tackle coming in and some defender comes running pell-mell, but completely misses everybody, doesn't touch. And you're just like, well, your shorts are up your butt and you're really, really wet. So how do you like them apples? Maybe you don't want to do that again. And you can always have a word. You can have that word, like I think Megs was saying earlier, that, hey, dude, you're aware that if you make contact, you're done. Like, you're going to go sit for 10. So please, for the sake of the game, let's not be that way. See, now you're just trying to, now you're fishing. Now you're just trying to get a rise out of me. Barry. I hope you put that comment in before I said about the little kid throwing, flipping a stick for fun in the backfield. So 916 is the rule under which the that is being relied on in this situation. Not glove, blocker. Stain, makes sense to you that the throwing of the stick does affect the attacker who is setting up a push. No danger. Okay. I've said it as many ways as I think I can. And if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't make sense, then I'm not doing my job properly. So I'm taking this on as I got to be better. I just got to be better. Thank you, Baz. Okay, let's say the first glove doesn't come off as the second one is still thrown. And then the attacker says she was put off by the keeper. That's different. That is a different scenario with different calculations made. And like I said, I don't think you can I don't think you can give a stroke. But that's when you might want to give a card, because there wasn't an initial foul that you're going back to that was the thing that changed the play. And have a word. See? Just have a word. The second glove had already moved out of the scope when the shot was taken. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. But I also hope, Thomas, that you can go back through your head, and so all this has happened. Hopefully you blow something so you stop the play. So Alicia, as she was saying, she had made a decision further up the field. And I don't know. I don't know at that point if you can go back for a consult. But let's say the ball goes off the sideline immediately, or there's some other reason by which you can actually stop time and go back. You can't. You have to call something a circle. Never mind. Because one thing you can do, all of us mere mortals who don't have review, we are going to try to make a decision immediately. You can call that stroke, you can call that corner, you can even call a corner, and then, and you go and you talk to your friend. If you're wrong and it should have been a play-on situation, then you have to award a bully outside the circle, which everybody hates, but that's the remedy to fix that situation where you did your best and you were wrong. But if you have to adjust a corner to a stroke, or a stroke down to a corner, or you have to then give a card, or whatever the case might be, that's how you would handle that situation, okay? Lee, if you think I would have scored that goal, we haven't met. You're probably talking to somebody else. Yes. 12.4a and the interpretation of that. I know, I'm gifted that way. If only there were two of me, then I probably wouldn't be under so much stress. Ah, Simon, so you're helping Rob out with the thing. Thank you very much. Ian, tongue-in-cheek, PS for the glove, second PS for the throw. Lizzie's back. Sir, you can spell probable. Thank you, everybody, for putting 12.4a in there for you. Michelle, it's like swinging a stick. It's like swinging a stick near someone, no foul if no contact was made. Yes, it's ugly and not friendly, but no impact occurred. And you would only intervene if you needed to send the message that that kind of reckless, dangerous play cannot happen again. If you're going to tell me that there was some kind of danger coming from O'Hanlon throwing her stick that way, I'm going to grab you by the scruff of the neck and shake you. And then smile. Thank you very much, Andy. Everybody, please, if you haven't downloaded the rules of hockey, thank you. Yep, the push came after the stick was thrown. I know. So Baz is talking about the update that in 2019 that came in, the big pads and gloves, blah, blah, blah. We wanted to avoid any problems and make it simple. Probably a goal. Penalty stroke. Thank you. So, Steen, this is the question between what approach do we take as umpires getting this decision right? If we have video referral, we don't have video referral. I still don't think you can give a card even if you don't have video referral and you're playing advantage. But if something happens so fast, and I've talked before about how advantage is not going back because you didn't realize that the penalty would have been the best solution for the fouled team. That is not advantage. I've said that before. There are instances where things happen so fast or something unexpected occurs that changes your equation and you were wrong. I think that in many situations, that's when you can go back. It's like, yo, no, that wasn't advantage. That's my bad. And just because I made a mistake because I didn't see something that was happening or my brain didn't work properly doesn't mean that I should take that opportunity away from the team that was fouled. Feel free to set that right. I think you should, because that's your mistake, not their mistake. Okay? So now that we have that situation, Stain, I still think that in this case, if you're on top of it and for some reason you're like an incredible super rules brain person and this happens in your game and you just don't have the time to call the stroke before it happens, but you're calling a stroke for the first disadvantage, I know. What's happening? Is this a COVID thing? Hi, Oliver. Glad you could join in on YouTube. Thanks for coming in. Okay. If I've managed to persuade one person, that is a job well done for me. Ian, remembering the shootout you showed recently where the failed attacker threw a stick into the end boards very hard. No card as it had no effect on the game. And that was Alicia, who was just with us earlier. Exactly. Right? Now that could have been dangerous. That could be something that you need to step in a different situation, in a different scenario, not an Olympic qualifier where that player has just cost her team the chance to go to the Olympics. In addition with all the things that happen in the game, because the same philosophy applies. No one thing changes, or no one event decides a game. It works for players too. But she was very upset. And what do you do? What do you need to do? Do you need to intervene? Don't look for reasons to do it. Just Is it necessary? And if the striker had put the glove and ball, put the glove and the stick into the, oh no, sorry. If the striker had put the glove and the ball into the goal, that would have been impressive reactions. Yes. Incredible. No, it doesn't block the goal because she shot at goal and the defender on the line made the save. That's in the rest of the video. It wasn't the thrown goalkeeper stick. It went past it. Nope. Nope. Stain. Come on. Thank you. Kitty. Oh. I hope that's not this stream right now. If this is YouTube, Niels, this is over on Facebook. And if this is on YouTube, oh boy. Michelle, you warn people who slide and miss totally, so you suggest they control their body, otherwise bad things happen to them for dangerous contact. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, it's almost 1:30. Sorry, I will wrap up soon. Okay. Okay, let's agree to disagree. I'll get you in the end. The argument people are making is like, it nearly hit a foot, so I'll blow it. It's not an infringement. Sure, if that stick had hit the Argentinian attacker, let's card it. Or it caused some legitimate evasive action or something like that. It's just a stupid side behavior that doesn't affect anything or anyone. Oh my God, Niels, good. Whew. Yes, they did. Barrio Nuevo stepped up and she scored the stroke, by the way. I remember that very clearly. Okay. I'll go check in on YouTube and see what happens later. We're still having some hiccups in our relationship with myself and the FIH. We're still working on stuff. It's a journey. It's a great journey. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, okay. We'll go look at that later. You don't remember that score. I love that. Oh, goodness. The joke being everybody playing at home that David Hughes never remembers. He has no idea what the score of the match is in any of the matches that we are analyzing in our mentoring group. In FHU 3T Yellow, which you could also be a member of for only $17 a month, or get your association to sign up to a red membership. FHU3T.com. How do you like that? Okay, thanks for everybody checking in on the YouTube. I appreciate that. That is awesome. Oh, you're going to practice right now. Cool. I didn't rule Tuesday because I didn't publish it yesterday. Thanks, by the way. But yeah, Wednesday, I did not rule Wednesday, but things were up. What was definitely up today? So mission accomplished. It still happened. Let's see. So good, you guys. Does anybody have anything else to wrap this up with? It has been an hour and a half of sheer joy and elation for me. No, I've really enjoyed it. It's, again, what I'm trying to do here is to increase the conversation and help us all reason through why we're going to get to the best result, which is always what I say. No, I'm just kidding. But still, it's not about what really, really, really should have happened there. I want you to consider the principles. Consider the principles. Did it affect the game? Did it cause danger? Did it not? Have those things in mind, because when it happens to you, and it will happen to you someday, somewhere, when the pandemic is gone and we can all get back out on the pitch, when it happens to you, you are going to have all these really great principles in your mind. You're going to know what to do. You're going to make a great decision. And everybody walking off the field is going to love the fact that you were prepared. You had done this work and you did your best on that day. And that's all I want for you. That's all I want for you. And to agree with me. No, it's all I want for you. It is to do your best. You're very welcome, Caroline. Great learning points tonight. Yes. Thank you. I convinced somebody else. Yay. That was first screenshot. You booked dinner. Okay. Accurate. It was definitely 1.5. It's 1 kilo hours. Lockdown envy for people going out to train. You're very welcome. I'm very envious as well. This has got to get over soon. I'm going crazy. You're welcome. Thank you. The banter was great. I just being able to spend time with all of you virtually is, yeah, it gives me life. It's the wind beneath my wings. And yes, much clearer than, it's not even the rambling on social media. It's that we can't go back and forth. And many people can't express their thoughts as clearly in a limited exchange format. And the way when I'm able to talk to you on video, I hope it makes a difference in terms of emotion and connotation and certainty and all those things. So that's important. You really enjoyed it, Andy. Good. Thanks. As long as I made you laugh, that's the key. You're very welcome, Gary. Thank you. Thanks, Jane. I will figure out how to take care of myself. Send me your ideas. Send me your inspirational Instagram posts. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Stain. And I'm glad we were able to exchange our views as we did. You're welcome. You're welcome. When am I going to open up the phone lines and call in? I'm working on that, friend. Clubhouse. Into a live stream. It's coming. I just have to buy a Rodecaster Pro. I'm glad you were able to come around. That's fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for joining in today. Your contributions made this session so good. And we are going to have, coming up March 3rd, Dan Barstow is going to be joining, and that's going to be awesome. March 24th is going to be Whit Ryan. Whit Ryan is going to talk to us about focus. He had to bow out today, but we're going to get him on later. If you have an umpire you want me to talk to, message them and tell them to call me. I'm just kidding. Send your ideas, and I will get in touch with them. Good luck with your COVID vaccination, Gary. I'm very happy for you. Go nuts. Thank you. And thank you, Kathy. It's so nice to see you every week. Have a fantastic rest of your week, folks. Keep in touch. WhatsApp me, DM me, and keep giving me life. Thanks for